This yogurt contains bacterial strains that can potentially increase oxytocin, thus improving your mood, sleep, skin, body composition, immunity, and more. According to the yogurt's creator, Dr. William Davis, antibiotics and other factors have destroyed this gut microbe in 96% of modern Americans, and maybe you too if you're watching from somewhere else. So I'm going to teach you how to restore it. Let's get started. This is going to be a quick and straightforward tutorial. If you want more in-depth information, please refer to my other yogurt making videos, including my frequently asked questions video, which I'll have linked below. I'll also have a video linked if you want to make this yogurt dairy-free. We're making Reuteri yogurt, not to be confused with SIBO yogurt and various other yogurts that may or may not contain Reuteri, among other strains. And this is technically not yogurt because it doesn't contain any of the strains traditionally found in yogurt, so it's just fermented dairy, although it comes out looking and tasting just like yogurt. Here are the ingredients. Now let me tell you exactly how to make it. First, you need your probiotic, obviously. We're making yogurt instead of simply taking the probiotic to massively increase their counts and therefore benefits. You can use any of the probiotics I have listed here, and I'll have links to all of these in the description box below. Dr. William Davis, the creator of this yogurt, started by using BioGaia Gastrus tablets. He was studying these strains, those tablets had them. You have to crush those tablets yourself. However, he has now come out with his own capsules. So you can instead use his now if you want, and those have the strain, everything that he wants you to use. Otherwise, I have some other options here, and you can see what Reuteri strains are in them, including a yogurt starter culture powder with Reuteri, but different Reuteri strains than what Dr. Davis uses. I've used that one as well. The strains Dr. Davis uses aren't the only ones that could give you benefits, but know that these, for example, in the yogurt starter culture are not the same strains. There are roughly 200 different Reuteri strains. So just pay attention to that so you can get exactly what you want to get. Once you've chosen your probiotic, you're going to dump it in a bowl. I actually use the Instant Pot's bowl because I've already sterilized this, so it's just easy. This is one of Dr. Davis's capsules, so I just open it up, throw in the powder. Then you're going to use a quart of organic, ultra pasteurized half and half, and stir in a little until you get the clumps out. You can also add 1 tablespoon of inulin at this point, and this is the brand that I use. He has used 2 tablespoons in the past for this same recipe, but now I believe he's decided to reduce it to just 1. I have chosen to add a step, however, which you don't have to add, but I actually heat my inulin in a little bit of milk to basically sterilize it, because inulin is not sterile and you can potentially introduce other microbes into your yogurt with your inulin. So it's a step I used to not take, but I've decided it's worth it to me to take that step. You can decide on your own. It is something that Dr. Davis has mentioned, and I think eventually he would like to have his own inulin that's sterile, or another company that provides some sort of sterile inulin. I think he's talked about using ultraviolet light or something to sterilize it. If you do it this way, however, make sure everything you heated has completely cooled before you pour it in to where your probiotic is. Otherwise, you're going to kill your probiotic and you will not get yogurt. Then add the rest of your half and half and mix everything well. And to make subsequent batches, instead of starting again with your probiotic, you're just going to take a little bit, 2 tablespoons worth of yogurt or whey from your last batch, throw that in to your milk, mix well, and then ferment. For this particular yogurt, I like to ferment it in quart-sized mason jars rather than in the Instant Pot's basin, because it needs to be covered loosely and it's just easier. You have a lot less air and other microbes that can get to your yogurt in something small like this rather than this. I have sterilized these. So finally, we put everything into some sort of fermenting device capable of maintaining a temperature of around 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius for 36 hours. I use an Instant Pot with an adjustable yogurt button. I will have this one linked below because it's awesome. I've had 4 Instant Pots and this one is just great. You could also use a regular yogurt maker, a sous vide, and yes, like I said, it's best practice to sterilize everything. I used to not be so careful, but I think that if you're fermenting the wrong microbes for 36 hours, that can equally cause problems that you don't want. So I just don't mess with it anymore. Lids are on loosely. You don't want anything tight fitting because you want gas to be able to escape. And you may get separation of yogurt and whey once your first batch is done. This is completely normal with this bacterial strain. Don't start again from scratch. Just use 2 tablespoons of yogurt or whey from your separated batch and use it to start your next batch. Speaking of future batches, I just use whole milk personally, and you can even use this on your first batch if you want. I like to make larger batches, so I double everything and use a 1/2 gallon of whole milk. Always ultra pasteurized to not massively multiply the wrong bacteria, given the prolonged fermentation time. End result, this has already been dug into, but look at that. Now you know how to make this yogurt. You also probably have a ton of questions. So check out my frequently asked questions video, which I will have linked for you below. And remember to eat real food. I'll see you next time.